And that was pass interference. You can't tell me that wasn't pass interference. You can't tell me that wasn't pass interference, man. The New York Giants lose to the Buffalo Bills. But why am I smiling? The New York Giants just lost to the Buffalo Bills, had a chance to win, but why am I smiling still? I'm smiling because at the end of the day, the New York Giants gave me something to cheer for. And I know this is there's no moral victories. I understand that. There's no moral victories, but the New York Giants gave me something to cheer for. And I can't even understand why I don't feel as bad. I wanted to win. And that's pass interference. That was absolutely pass interference. Absolutely pass interference. He had him under the jersey. He couldn't get his left arm up to complete the catch. That's pass interference. They want to throw flags all night, but they want to put the flag in their pocket after that. It's okay to throw. It's okay to throw two PIs, at the same time. I mean, back to back. It's okay to do that. It's okay to do that, ref. You would have been justified. Nobody would have been mad. It was an absolute pass interference, and we should have got another chance to get there. And you know what? That was the right play to call. You got Darren Waller. You throw the alley-oop. He's supposed to be able to get that. He's supposed to be able to get that. But that was clear pass interference. So there's a lot of things to talk about in this game. There's a lot of things to talk about in this game. The defense, first off, shout out to the defense. They held on for as long as they can hold on. They gave them the goose egg for the first half. This is Josh Allen. This is Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. You kept these guys to 0 points, in the first half. You kept them. For as long as you can do it, you kept them. The New York Giants should have, we should have got points at the end of the second half. That was, that's inexcusable. Inexcusable to get down to the 1 yard line and not get any points, going into halftime. You at least got to come away with 3. It should have been 13. It should have been 13-0 or at least 9-0. But instead, we go into the half with a 6-0 lead, and touchdowns always beat field goals every day of the week. And the Bills got touchdowns and we got field goals. Now they did miss 2 field goals as well. They did miss 2 field goals, but at the end of the day, they still won. And again, I gotta, tip my hat to the defense for showing up. Bobby Okereke, fantastic game. Micah McFadden with some good turnovers, key turnovers when we needed them. Not everybody played the best. I'll say that. There was some mishaps, but this was a game that was winnable for the New York Giants. And despite what was happening, Justin Pugh, he gets to start. Azudo goes down in the first quarter, and then now Justin Pugh is playing left tackle. He's playing left tackle the whole game. And, the offense didn't do as much as they should have done, but they did more than I thought they were going to do. I thought we were going to get blown out. I thought this game was going to be over in the first half. But no, not only was it not over in the first half, the New York Giants were winning this game for most of the game. Time of possession battle, all that. So, again, this was a loss. But at least it was competitive. I can be happy about that. I can be excited about that. But you're still mad about the loss because you had a chance to win this game. It was right there for you on the 1 yard line. This is what you need to do. They played, they called the right play again, like I said in the beginning, to Darren Waller. Should have been a pass interference, but it is what it is. And again, I'm happy with how the defense showed up. Again, offense under Tyrod Taylor looked competitive, looked competent. I know this is going to start a lot of discussions. As far as when is Daniel Jones going to come back, if Tyrod Taylor is looking, I can't even say looking this good, but if the offense is able to move and Tyrod Taylor is making some good decisions, with the ball, Dable did have to take over the play call, and looks like at the end of the first quarter, second quarter, he looked like he was the one calling the plays, and then when we came out of halftime, looked like he did give it back to Kafka. But man, we saw Barkley come back. Barkley had a couple of big runs. Barkley looking like Barkley. The offensive line was able to get a couple of holes. It wasn't consistent, but I can say this. The offensive line was not the reason why we lost this game. I would say, it was a couple of things. We could not, execute when we needed to execute. We settled for field goals instead of touchdowns, and that's what happens. When you settle for field goals and don't get touchdowns, this is what happens in games. We had the 3 field goals. That was, those should have been touchdowns, and it wasn't. But again, you had a chance to win the game against the Buffalo Bills, one of the top teams in the league, and you came this close. But it just didn't happen. But at the end of the day, I'm still happy. If you want to say that, am I happy? Not really happy, but I was satisfied with the play that I saw, and that's telling you a lot. When you can find some when you can find peace in a loss, you know that the season is down bad. If I'm talking the way that I'm talking right now, we still lost the game. And it sucks to feel this way. But again, it's been so bad that just a competitive game is making me happy. Now let's take off the fandom and let's talk ball for a second. There was some play calling there that, inexcusable. I think we tried to run the ball a little too much before we got the success with the big plays from Barkley. I think we tried to run the ball a little bit too much. We tried to keep things tight a little bit too much. As soon as we started to spread the defense out and move the ball in the passing game, you saw us be able to get a little bit of success in this game. And no matter how bad the offensive line plays, you still have to give yourself a chance to try to make the play. And when you just throw the ball to your wide receivers and you give them just a chance to make the play, you saw that these guys were able to make the plays. And another thing, when you give yourself a chance by throwing the ball, other things can happen like pass interference. And we saw that happen, with Darius Slayton. You know what I mean? You saw that happen. You give these guys a chance to throw the ball. You never know what happens. You're never going to complete any of the passes that you don't throw. And hopefully Daniel Jones is taking notes and he's looking at the sideline. He's looking at this game and he saw how Tyrod Taylor gave the receivers, whether it be the tight ends or the wide receivers, running backs, whoever he was throwing it to, he gave these guys the chance to make plays, and that's all we've been asking for so long, this whole season. Just throw the ball. And good things might just happen. They just might happen if you just throw the ball. You can't hold on to the ball. You can't take the sacks. You can't do that. You have to be able to take the risk and throw the ball. Be smart and, throw it out of bounds if you need to. Like they say in Friday, you live. You live to fight another day. You live to fight another down. Take the chances. Throw the ball out of bounds when you need to. Don't take any unnecessary sack. And you saw that the quarterback was able to bail those guys out a little bit and made the offensive line look better than what they actually were. Because I'm pretty sure once Talking Giants, once Bobby Skinner does the breakdown for the offensive line, it's going to show that the offensive line was not fantastic. By any means, they were not fantastic. Did it look better than it's looked the last couple of weeks? Absolutely. But that comes from a lot of the decision making, from the quarterback, being quick and decisive, and also not taking the unnecessary sacks, and also getting the ball out, throwing the ball away when you have to, and it makes the offensive line look that much better. And you can see it. You can see it. Von Miller played. Was Von Miller name called? Really? Not really. AJ Espinoza was able to do a couple of things, but you saw the quick game. You started not hearing his name as much too. And also, I will say this: shout out to the defense. They had a little bit of a scuffle. Kayvon Thibodeau was on his back, looking like an MMA fighter, defending the ground game. The guy shoved Dexter Lawrence. Next thing you know, Leonard Williams is 5 yards into the end zone pushing. I like to see the fight. Bobby Okereke playing lights out as a linebacker. Him and Micah McFadden looking like a dynamic duo, or the makings of a dynamic duo, if they can keep playing the way that they were playing. I will say this though, Kayvon Thibodeau, you got to complete that sack on Josh Allen. You got to complete that sack. Once you get your hands on him, if you're a premier player, he has to go down. I know it's Josh Allen. I know he's probably the same size as you. But once you get your hands on them like that, you got to be able to take them down. There was a couple plays on that drive where they scored that last touchdown, where they should have been off the field. They had Josh Allen dead to rights a few times. And this is why, you know, he's a franchise quarterback. He was able to make the plays above the X and the O's. But above the X's and the O's, he was able to make some plays. And you can see the difference between, you know, a franchise quarterback and then a paid franchise quarterback. And that's just me being honest, just being real. You see the difference. Making a play when the play needs to be made. That touchdown that he had to the backup of the backup of tight ends, where, you know, the scramble drill, you know, he peels off of Dane Belton and throws a dot. Pinnock couldn't get there fast enough, you know, and they could have iced the game also, because the one that the tight end dropped on the fourth down. I'm sorry, not on the fourth down. On the third down, when they missed the field goal after that, McKinney was beat. The tight end had him beat. He just dropped it. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best pass, but McKinney was beat. That's a conversion. That's the ball game right there. But we were able to get the ball back. But again, that's crying over spilled milk. It is what it is. Again, I think the New York Giants can take this momentum into the next game. We'll see what happens with the quarterback, because again, now this is going to be the controversy. We saw it coming. You know, I don't want to talk about it too much, but I think that's all you're going to hear. That's all you're going to hear when it comes to the New York Giants. That's all you're going to hear this week is, you know, how the offense looked with Tyrod Taylor. Now, we'll say this, Saquon Barkley was back as well. And when you're playing with Saquon Barkley, he demands a certain amount of attention from the defense. They couldn't just sit back like the other teams could do, you know, in the previous weeks. But this is a what have you done for me lately type of league. And right now, what I saw this week was a competitive team playing against one of the top teams in the league. And at the end of the day, having a chance at the end of the game to win. And we just came up a little bit short. But again, take this momentum. Again, this is a moral victory. And we don't like moral victories over here. But I'm going to take this moral victory and run with it, because we've been looking that bad and we had a chance. So shout out to the New York Giants for giving me something to cheer about. Shout out to the defense and Wink Martindale for pretty much calling the fantastic game. Shout out to the aggressiveness and the physicality of the defense. I will say this. I saw dogs. I saw dogs today on defense. I saw the dogs. I saw the fight. I saw the meanness and the toughness. I need to see that every week. This is still the Buffalo Bills. And we didn't get a lot of sacks on Josh Allen. This was the defense playing pretty well, getting pressure, you know, causing some mishaps for the Buffalo Bills offense. This is what you want to see out of this defense, man. This is what you thought you were going to get a little bit, you know, going into the season. And if this is the wake-up call, possibly, for the New York Giants, especially on the defensive side, then fantastic. I saw toughness. I saw meanness. I saw some grit. I saw aggressiveness. I saw some fight. I saw some dog. And shout out to those guys. Now on the offensive side, whatever the musical chairs is going to be now for the offensive line, Andrew Thomas, I need you back ASAP. And I think we need to figure out what the best configuration of this offensive line needs to be moving forward. You know, Barkley comes out of the game healthy. Hopefully he's ready for next week, not dealing with too much soreness. Azudu, who knows what's going to happen with Azudu. But if Andrew Thomas can come back, and if he can solidify that left side, if it's going to be him and Justin Pugh on that left side, and whatever configuration we're going to have on the right side, if we can get John Michael Schmitz back again at center, you know, maybe possibly we could try to turn this thing around. But at the end of the day, here's the thing. The New York Giants are 1-5. And if you lose 2 to 3 more games, you're mathematically going to be out. That's just the hard truth. You're mathematically going to be out. So if there is any kind of turnaround that needs to happen, it needs to happen right away. Right away, like next week. And we'll see what happens then. But that's going to be the video. Quick reaction, not even a quick reaction. I'm about 14 minutes long now. Reaction to the game. I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. It was a loss. That really didn't feel like a loss, but still a loss. But I feel good about this loss. I don't even know if that makes sense. Let's go.